Political cartoons have historically been used as tools for representing public sentiment. They can be read as the people's history of a country. What happens when they're used as an advertising and marketing tool for a consumer brand? It is this question that led me to look into Amul's cartoon advertisements. Amul is a cooperative that started in the state of Gujarat in India by farmers who were exploited by Paulsons, a butter and coffee company that had a monopoly over the Indian market until the 1960s. In face of increasing competition from Paulsons, Dr. Varghese Kurian, the chairman of the cooperative, approached an ad agency in Bombay to help brand and sell their butter. Eustace Fernandez and Sylvester Dacona, along with a team of filmmakers, writers, and art directors, designed the Amul mascot in 1966. She appeared on product packaging and ads with the tagline, "Utterly Butterly Delicious." She was an instant hit with children and homemakers in urban India. The Amul Girl was definitely not the first advertising mascot, but she was the first one with a personality. Today, the cooperative spends less than 1% of its revenue on advertising, and yet Amul Butter has a market share of 85% with little to no competition from regional brands. The cartoon ads first appeared on billboards in an elite neighborhood in South Bombay and eventually all over the city. Amul has made more than 4,000 cartoon advertisements, and their billboard campaign continues to be the longest running one for any Indian brand. They share these cartoon ads on their social media too. The messaging in these ads has evolved significantly through the decades. The billboard on the left is Amul's first ever ad, a simple butter pun. This was followed by commentary on issues that were of interest to an upper class consumer, their primary audience, people with buying power. We don't see a lot of political commentary in this decade yet. As we approach the late 80s, a time of significant political upheaval, we start seeing messages that are of concern to a middle class consumer. The cartoons get bolder and do not shy away from taking a jibe at people in power. In the 90s, India underwent a neoliberal economic reform. With this, there is an influx of pop culture that is both domestic and foreign. We start seeing references to Bollywood movies, international politics, but there is also an increased number of dissenting political cartoons against the state. This is best illustrated by the cartoon in the center column that is pro self determination of Kashmiris in the face of an Indian regime that threatens to occupy their land. By this point, Amul had identified their three golden geese: politics, sports, and pop culture. The Amul girl's childish charm and wit, combined with the bright primary colors and the consistent watercolor treatment in the ads, draw the audience into a nostalgic good old past while placing the mascot in an ever changing political landscape. Over the years, the Amul girl has become a childhood and pop culture icon for two generations. She is a beacon of liberal ideals and a signifier of middle class beliefs, a class that holds major political sway. However, in the last 6 years, these ads have taken a sharp turn towards pro state propaganda with a change in political power. BJP, a right wing party that has historically had Hindu nationalist positions, formed the government with Narendra Modi as the Prime Minister. These are a few images from a sample of 1,500 ads since 2014. Since Modi has been Prime Minister, there is a cult of personality through mass media and propaganda. The two ads here celebrate Modi's monogrammed suit entering the Guinness World Records as the most expensive suit sold at an auction. This news collided with one of the first hits that the Indian economy had taken since the new government had come into power. Yet, there seems to be no sense of irony in these political cartoons. In 2020, the BJP led government at the center moved to ban a number of Chinese apps in response to a dispute at the Indo Chinese border. Amal uses this as an opportunity to employ a trite, racist stereotype of China. The Amal girl is uncharacteristically aggressive. In 2020, the government laid the foundations for a Hindu temple over the ruins of a demolished mosque. Babri Masjid was attacked and demolished by a Hindu nationalist mob in 1992, and the land has been a site of dispute amongst Hindus and Muslims since. In 2019, the Supreme Court passed a judgment ordering that the land be handed over to a trust to build a temple. The Amal girl is shown openly embracing this fascist move. She has also taken a keen interest in various neoliberal policies introduced by the government. Here, she is shown supporting the Aadhaar, a controversial biometric database that has made citizens vulnerable to surveillance and corporate interests. While there was a public outcry against this move, the Amul girl gives us her approval. In her book Authentic, Sarah Banet Weiser says brand cultures are more than cultural practices and artifacts. They are made and remade by both brand intermediaries and consumers. Amul's cartoons are now fodder to right wing trolls and aid a growingly intolerant nationalist discourse. In a country that constitutes a majority Hindu population, brands have increasingly been the target of hate campaigns for merely championing religious harmony. According to a 2014 news report by the Times of India, Amul has close ties to the BJP. In light of all this, it is imperative to consider how Amul's messaging might change with the next change in power. It begs the question of who the public is and the public sentiment the brand claims to represent through these ads. As I continue my research into these cartoon ads, I hope to find some of these answers by focusing on how nostalgia has been used as a tactic of persuasion in these advertisements. Thank you.